I wanna run away as far as I can, till the edge of the world is near.
Tell me a bit about yourself and growing up with music, and if it was something
I kind of never really expected anything to come from me playing music, or again, it wasn't something that was kind of instilled in me. I guess I always grew up hearing my mom sing, and she was always really good, and we listened to music like the Eagles and like a lot of classic rock, and I would always catch myself singing like along with her, and then like, you know, one day she said like, "Casey, you could like actually sing if you like put the time into it and stuff." And so for my 13th birthday, my dad bought me a guitar, and I started like just messing around with it, and I was terrible, and I still terrible at singing and everything too. And then just as time went on, I kind of got better at it, and yeah, here I am. But it definitely wasn't something that was like, I didn't come from musicians necessarily. I was self-taught at everything. But I mean, my mom for sure had a big influence on that happening.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah.
And is it easier that you have all of that support from your family?
Yeah, I mean, my dad isn't with us anymore, but no, you're fine. But my mom is so amazing about it. Like, I mean, there was been times when I first started where there was like nobody at my shows at all, and like it would be very like disheartening, but she would always be there to like, she was actually, most parents would probably push their son or daughter who's going into the arts to not do it, you know, because it's so like risky and scary, but she was the opposite. She was always just go do it, and so I mean that has kept me going a lot.
Yeah,
sure, so.
That's amazing. Has she been to like every show?
I wouldn't say, I mean, she works a lot, but she tries to get there when she can, yeah. I mean, I know that she'd probably, if she could, she'd probably be at every one of them, absolutely, but you know, she's got to make a living too, and so I'm not rich enough yet to support her.
Yeah.
But
when was the first time you wrote a song?
Geez, I think I was like 14, and I'm assuming it would have been about a girl, and I had like a big like book of songs that I would write, but they were just like, I started experimenting with writing songs in about like 8th grade, and it wasn't good, but I tried, and you know, from that I was able to like learn what worked and what didn't, you know. But so
when did you learn to play the piano? Because I know you play the piano.
That's actually like somewhat recently. I've always had an immense respect for that instrument, and I always wanted to be able to play it. And like 7 years ago, I got like a little keyboard, and I would like kind of act like I could play it, but like I couldn't. And then once I actually made the decision to invest in a real like weighted keyed 88 key keyboard and actually learn how to play it, that's when like, once I was invested with money and like time, I could actually like put the time into learning it properly.
Yeah.
But it's taken a long time to get good at that. But yeah, so especially when I just taught myself. But yeah, so probably 5 years, I'd say, something like that. But
yeah. Do you find that guitar is easier to write with, or piano, or are they kind of the same?
I think to write with, piano is easier, just because like the kind of music I write, like it just fits that vibe more. Yeah. But I'm way better at guitar, so I can like write a song quicker, I think, with a guitar, but I think I write better songs on piano, which is interesting. But,
yeah, right. Yeah.
So
how do you get into that process of writing a song? Like, what is your...
usually when things are going very bad. Oh. So, I mean, honestly, I mean, like, that's just the truth. Like, when like right now, I mean, for the last, like, 3 or 4 months, I mean, I've written like bits and pieces of stuff, but like usually when I'm going through like something personal that like I'm fighting against inside myself, or a breakup, or just a life change that like took a toll on me, that's when I can like just spit them out easily. I mean, it takes like 5 minutes for me to write a song when I'm in that state of mind, but basically I kind of take like what I'm going through, and I have to get it out somehow, so I just write it down, like, and then I just put a melody to it and go from there. So.
Yeah. Do you write the lyrics first or the music first?
Typically the music. I'll just like, usually most of the time I'm just like at the keyboard or on the guitar just messing around, and something will come up that I think sounds kind of cool, and I'll just play with it, and then like I'll kind of play with like just like da 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 da, like, or you know, mess with the vocal melody or something. Yeah. And then like usually from that the lyrics come out, but more recently I've been experimenting just to like see how it works, like writing lyrics first, and it's been showing that I can actually write more and like get more onto a piece of paper, and I think I can take bits and pieces of that and then put it into instruments later. But it just kind of depends. But.
Yeah. What do you find easy or difficult about writing music? Is it hard? Like,
I think it goes back to like the state of mind that I'm in. Like, I think that like for me, if I've had these days where, you know, if I haven't written anything in a while, or like I've been busy and haven't had like the proper time, I'll like say, hey, today I'm gonna write a song. Like, and I'll sit down and like try to write something, and it's hard for me to do it that way. For me, like inspiration just has to come like organically.
Right.
But I mean, it's not always that way, but like 95% of the time, it's hard for me to just sit down and write a song. But the older that I'm getting, and I think the better that I'm getting at writing songs, I could probably explore that more. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Do you practice, or is it just kind of whenever?
I think that like it would be really stupid of me not to practice at least. I mean, like I practice as much as I'm able to, because I mean, but most of the time when I have downtime, like I need to like rest, or I mean, because I'm constantly just traveling and playing, and it's just, so I mean, the shows themselves are kind of the practice, but absolutely, especially piano, because like there's like a lot of aspects that I need to get better at, and that, but yeah. So.
If you could collab with anybody, who would be like the ultimate?
As of right now, well, it's a hard question, but it's a good question. My favorite like artist, like from like 8th grade to now, has been this guy named the band's called Coheed and Cambria, and they're like this progressive rock group. And Claudio Sanchez, the lead singer, I think is the most like, he's like a genius. He's just, I would love to work with him. Dallas Green from City and Color would be another one. But as of the last like 3 or 4 years, I've gotten super into Dermot Kennedy and Lewis Capaldi, and they're these artists from the UK that are just like incredible songwriters, and like they're like the exact music that I like to create.
Yeah.
And they've just reached like a really awesome level of success, I think. So it'd be cool to just like pick their brain about like how that got there. So
for sure. With social media, do you think that has helped you? You're a little bit more forthcoming with how you feel and everything on social media. So is that helped, or do you think it's helped or hindered you?
I think definitely helped more than hindered. I think that like, I don't really like social media, but like if in the business that I choose to be in, you have to have it, and it's just necessary. It's a necessary evil. So if I'm gonna have it, I want it to be as authentic as possible. So like I mean, most of the time I'm very forthcoming and like in a sarcastic way, and like make fun of myself a lot, and like that's kind of like the kind of person that I am.
Yeah.
And I think that if people, and I think that more people should try to not take themselves so seriously, and that's also advice that I'm terrible at following myself. But like I think that like it's an outlet for me to just try to be as authentic as possible, and I think we're in a time, especially in today's world, that like people crave authenticity.
Yeah.
And if I can be that and be that same person like in person, and I think it's going to do nothing but help me. So I try to just, I would hope that it helps, for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What's your process or ritual before going on stage? Do you get anxiety going on stage?
It kind of depends. I mean, like, yes and no. I mean, most of the time I'm just excited. You know, I try not to like, I mean, I'm to the point now where I've played so many shows that like it's just kind of like muscle memory now.
Yeah.
But for like yesterday, for example, it was a big like festival, and I thought that I was going to get nervous, but I was actually like super excited. But then there's shows, like sometimes there's shows that I'm just playing like a local free show that I'm like really nervous for no reason. So I think it just depends on like how the day's gone and what's going on in my life, and like, you know, if I'm going to play something new, I might be a little more nervous about that. But most of the time, no, I'm just excited. But my process leading up, I typically just do like a 30-minute vocal warm-up, and then I just get on and play. So nothing crazy, but yeah. So.
Is it easier to have Amber there, and does she make it a little bit easier when?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. It can and it can't sometimes. Like, I think like she would never tell me if I'm having a bad show, but like in my head, like I feel that way, and even if it's doesn't sound bad, like I sometimes overthink it and think that it does, and like I probably inadvertently like take that out on her afterwards, like, oh, that was terrible. I was like, how did I sound? And she's like, you were great. And I was like, you're a fucking liar, like, you know.
Right.
You know, but no, she's incredible, and she's been to almost every single show since we've started dating, and no, she's amazing. So it's awesome. Really awesome. It helps her having there all the time. Yeah.
Tell us about your favorite place to play. Like, where in all the travels you've had, where's your favorite venue?
Well, there's a lot in LA. I don't really like the city of LA. Like, no offense if anybody in LA hears that, but it's just not really a place that's for me. But the Bardo in LA is a really cool, like, intimate, open air venue, and like it's like probably seats like 50 people, and they're all like standing in a circle around you. And, like, that's a really cool venue to play. That's probably one of my favorite. Seattle is my favorite city to play in, just because like the kind of music I play is huge there, and like everybody can like relate to it, and I always have a good show there no matter what. So like Neumos, the Tractor Tavern, the Crocodile, like those are all like awesome places. So yeah,
that's usually where everybody kind of starts, is in those three.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. So yeah, I've been lucky to play like some. Like in the fall, I'll be playing the Troubadour in LA, and like that's like such. I mean, there's been so many legends that have played that stage, so I'm like, I can't wait for that. But that'd be cool.
That's amazing. Is that somewhere? I was just gonna ask. Is there somewhere you haven't played that you're wanting to play?
Yeah, well, that's one. There's a couple cities that I really want to play. Just like bigger cities in like foreign countries.
Yeah. Where's a foreign country you'd like to go?
I really like to play in Iceland. Like, that'd be really cool. Just because I've always wanted to go there, and I've heard like cool things about the people there. So just I've kind of prided myself on like trying to like do as much like off the wall stuff as I can, like, and play as even like in South America, even like just places like not even like it exceeds a language barrier. And if I can like be successful there, then I think that it's just gonna be successful anywhere, hopefully. So
all over. How do you juggle being a musician with it being kind of tough to be a musician and life?
I ask myself that every day. I guess, I don't know, I've told, there's been, I still go through times, even when things are good with it, that I'm just like, why am I doing this? And I've wanted to quit so many times, like, but I just don't. And like, it's in me, and I can't get rid of it. And like, Chris Stapleton has a song called The Devil Named Music, and like, it basically talks about how like music is like this devil that kind of steals your soul. And like, I love that metaphor toward it, because it's like, no matter how bad it can be, or like how hard it can be sometimes, or how disappointing it can be sometimes, like I just keep doing it. And but because the one time it may be terrible is nothing compared to like the 8 times or whatever that it's awesome.
Yeah, I can imagine that it would be kind of hard with kind of the stigma behind it, of it being like hard to be a musician in this kind of time. Yeah, well, and I think what a lot of people don't understand is like there's a big difference between somebody that's like an open micer and like Ed Sheeran. Like there's a lot of in between room there. But I think that people think that, I tell people I'm a musician, and if they haven't heard of me, like if they literally haven't heard of me, then they automatically think I'm probably like poor, or like living on the street. And like, I've built this up like a long time, and like, you can make a good living in music and not be super famous, but so people, I think, need to understand that there is a good possibility to make it a career if you put in the work and the time and the persistence. But if you quit, then you're not going to do it. But it's definitely hard, especially with the cost of living going up sometimes and everything. But fortunately, I've been able to just keep booking as much as I can. So in response to fans, do you find what's the best and worst part? Do you find it hard to respond to people or get the criticism? And
I don't know. Like, I think that, I've always looked at it this way, like everybody that I've ever idolized has been, loved by millions and probably hated by hundreds of thousands, so it's kind of, you're never going to please everybody. And like, honestly though, like, I would say 95% of the support that I get, or the criticism I get, is positive, and it's good, and it's like, hey, you were awesome. So it's like, but I'm the type of person that latches on to the one person that says something bad. So I don't know. Like, I think if I was, when I was younger, maybe I would have responded more abrasively, but now I just like either ignore it or say like, whatever, thank you. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't expect everybody to like it, and I wouldn't I can't put myself in another state of mind, but sad music isn't for everybody. Like listening to that kind of music all the time probably gets kind of, morose, but
yeah,
I don't know, it makes me happy. So
do you have any like crazy fan stories or like people that have done really something nice for you? Or
when I was first starting out, I had a couple girls that, like, when they came to my shows, and like they're really good friends of mine now still, but they actually got like tattoos of like my first like artist name when I was playing under a artist name called Him and Her.
Yeah,
they got like a tattoo of the Arrow logo that I have right here.
Yeah, so
they got that tattooed. Like one of them got it on their wrist, and so that I was kind of like I was like kind of like, damn, that's like devotion, but because like back then I was like nothing. But I don't know, not really. I mean, I've just had just a lot of nice people talk to me. It hasn't really been anything like crazy. I've had to like, I guess there's been like kind of weird vibes sometimes, I guess, but I mean nothing like that I've been in danger of. So yeah. I mean, not really. So it's most of the time it's been pretty positive.
Just rest your weary head right next.
If you weren't doing music, what do you think you would be doing, or what would you want to do?
Well, I mean, I went to school for a long time, so I have a PhD in psychotherapy. So I don't know if I would be using that, but I don't know. A lot of people ask me that question, and like I kind of just come back to the same thing. It's like I don't really have. I know that I could get a job doing something like that, but like it's not like even on my train of thought because I don't have a plan B really. I'm just doing this, But
so it made you go from doing a PhD to this.
Well, I mean, I was playing music while I was still like pursuing it.
Okay.
So yeah, I was kind of doing both at the same time. I don't know. I had a goal when I was 18, like I wanted to get like a doctorate, like because I was like I don't know. It's not a bad thing, but I was like a nerd, and I really wanted to like excel in school. Yeah. And that was like my goal, and then I got that when I was 27, and then that's right around the time that like everything started to take off. So I kind of had to make like a decision whether I was going to like go down that path or this one, and like I'd rather want to just take a chance. I'd rather take a chance on something I love than something that I didn't, But I don't know. I'd probably just if money wasn't an issue, I would love to work in like a bookstore or something, honestly, like just something simple like that. Yeah. I don't know, because I complicate my life way more than it needs to be complicated, and that would help me just simplify, I think, just something cool like that. But
so what was your first job?
My first job was construction when I was 16. Wow. I helped build a Walmart.
Wow.
Just for a summer, but yeah.
Where was that at?
In Smelterville, Idaho. So like right in between Pinehurst and Kellogg, like 30 miles east of here.
Wow.
So yeah.
I was not expecting that.
No, yeah, it was
Musician, you're constantly having to like change with the times and being relevant. Do you find that easy, or do you find that hard?
I don't know. I used to think that like the music I put out was like kind of like. I mean, I'm not saying this to sound like, I say it just for lack of a better term, like timeless, just because like it's like not like, it's not really genre specific necessarily. So I think that I can, but the more that I've seen like artists that I look up to now and like what they're doing, like I'm not like necessarily like taking what they're doing, but like I'm taking elements of it and like putting it into my own. So yeah, you have to like, people I think are into like really obscure and weird things now. Yeah. So I think that like if you want to stand out, you have to do something like that. Like even if talent isn't good enough, And so there's like artists like Billie Eilish. She's like incredibly talented, but she's also like very, very out there. And I think that that's like eye catching. And like that's what's trending now. I think it's cool to like cool to be really weird. Yeah. Which is, again, there's nothing wrong with. It's just, but like. Which is kind of why I've kind of just embraced my weirdness and like sharing that on social media, and like even in music too, just like on stage, like saying like things about myself, and just trying to like make light of the situation and also just embrace who you are fully. And I think that's a really good thing about where music is headed, is like more and more people are doing that. So it's harnessing individuality as opposed to making somebody feel bad for being who they are. So I've tried to like. And I think if that's what you mean by relevant, that's what I've tried to do.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So. Just an off-the-wall question. Mm-hmm. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
I don't know. My favorite animal is an elephant, but I think that I would have too much sympathy. It'd be tough to be an elephant, I think, just because like they're so loyal. But I don't know, maybe like a shark, because they're like perfectly engineered for their environment, or like a jellyfish because they're like aliens pretty much, or an octopus. Yeah, those are cool. But yeah, probably between those three. But, yeah. So.
What are you working on next? What's coming up?
These are really good questions, by the way. You're really good at this, because good questions get good answers, and I like these questions.
Thank you.
I am honestly looking forward to a little bit of downtime when I go back to Arizona. I'm going to try to book as many shows up in the fall. I'm going to try to put together like a 5-track, like all piano EP in the spring. So that's kind of what I want to do next, like just super like melodic, simple like piano EP, and just keep it simple like that. So that's what I'm gearing towards. And then also like working on playing in those countries that I was talking about, and like, you know, building a bigger tour and trying to get on with like an artist that I love and be cool. So I'm going to pursue that. Like, I'm going to pursue the quality in music over the quantity. I'm going to kind of try to slow things down. So
who would you like to open for if you could?
Oh, man, I've already opened for like a couple of my favorites, but like City and Color was huge. Like, that was awesome. I loved getting open for him. I think I would love to play with the Goo Goo Dolls. Like, that'd be incredible.
I could see you doing that.
Yeah. Just because their song Name is my favorite song of all time.
Yeah.
And that'd be cool. Or like Louis Capaldi or Dermot Kennedy, like I mentioned, like just because we're so genre specific, I think that'd be really cool too. So,
yeah.
But I mean, that's a big list. I could go on, but those three are probably my top ones. So.
Awesome. Yeah. So, well, I thank you for taking time to be with me.
Absolutely. I'm glad we did this. Thank you.